Everyone has a story. A couple of days ago, I saw online.
Mm.
I hate social media so much. It's awful.
Same.
But there was a thing that popped up online a few days ago about someone had a photo of a homeless person who was
Mm.
the homeless person was having an episode, some kind of they were having a moment where they were anxious and like acting unusual. And then there was people online saying, "Oh, they're on crack. They should be off the street. They need to be moved on." And I just wrote, "You don't know that person's story. That's someone's
Exactly.
son, brother, cousin, partner. You don't know what happened in their life to get to that point. They're obviously having an episode, and you've chosen to film them and put it
Mm.
on social media for likes and comments instead of going up to them and saying, 'Are you okay? Like, do you need
Exactly.
anything?' Or if you can't deal with it, go to a police person and say, 'I think that person's
Mm.
needs some help,' instead of fucking putting it on social media as something to
Mm.
laugh at. I was at an event, big event yesterday, and there was a woman at the event who seemed to be having some kind of issue. And I went up to her and I knew a nurse there, and I said to the nurse, 'I think that person's having an issue.
Yeah.
You want to just check it out?' Instead of fucking filming it and putting it on social media. My point is that everyone has a story. Always wanted to bring those to light. I'm like my parents and my father. I want to know, pull out of people, where are you from? Tell me something of your story. I don't want to talk about mine. I know my story. In my mind, my story is boring. So most of the time, I meet people out socially. This will be surprising, but people comment that I'm actually quite quiet socially because I don't want to talk about myself. That's boring to me. I want to know about you. I'm very good at asking people questions because I
Mm.
just want to know about them. I'm 50. I'm not, my mentality is different from the young people. The people in their 20s now have a bit of a different mentality, and
Mm.
that's their time.
Mm.
I don't agree with all of their mentality, most of it, sure,
Yeah.
but I don't understand everything that
Mm.
the younger generation are doing, but I don't
Mm.
need to. This is their time to find their way, and so I have to allow them the grace to do that. I get annoyed sometimes at what the young people say and do, and a little bit, not always, but just a little bit. But that's their journey. That's everyone has to have their journey.
Mm.
Who am I to tell them what to do? When I was in my 20s, I probably annoyed 50-year-olds as well.
Can I ask you something? Because you're really seeing the changes of our communities. You see how things have evolved. Have you think things have improved at all?
That's a very topical question, and it's a very difficult
Mm.
question to answer.
Mm.
I worry about the future of our community. I worry now probably more than I have in the past, which is really
Mm.
interesting. I think the world has become a lot more crazy. I think there's lots of reasons for that. I think social media has been complicated.
Mm.
Social media can be amazing, but I think social media has also allowed people to go into their own echo chambers and their own algorithms. I think that's why we have right-wing governments happening around the world, and racism and homophobia,
Yeah.
Islamophobia, all these things are being amplified by
Mm.
social media. And it's easy for people, if someone has a racist inclination or a homophobic
Mm.
inclination, it's very easy to find allies
Mm.
on social media. Right now, I could go on social media and I could put up a racist comment,
Mm.
and there will be some people
Mm.
that will agree with me.
Mm.
And then suddenly slide into that algorithm where that's kind of all you see.
Mm.
And you
Mm.
kind of end up sticking together. If you look at MAGA Trump supporters in the United States, I think that's why we have Trump and that whole kind of movement, is because those people, the algorithms end up putting you into this tribe. We become
Absolutely.
tribes. And I think that has been detrimental
Yeah.
to our society. I don't know how that's going to change.
Mm.
That is probably one of the biggest concerns on the future of humanity.
Mm.
So I think that's been very damaging to the rainbow community.
Mm.
Also, sometimes I think the rainbow community itself, sometimes we can be our own worst enemy on some
Yeah.
things. We can cause issues amongst ourselves that I don't know why they've become issues now. Like there
Mm.
seems to be the rainbow community itself feels quite divided. When I was younger, we were all in it together.
Mm.
You would go to the Staircase nightclub
Mm.
and everyone was in that room.
Mm.
White, brown, trans, drag queens, lesbians, butch dykes, femme
Mm.
dyke, camp twinks, leather muscle
Mm.
daddies. We all got along.
Mm.
There was no separation. We were all in it together.
Mm.
But it feels like now we feel more divided than ever before.
Mm.
So I think
What
social media has made that so.
Why do you think that is? I was in a relationship for 22 years, which I just came out from and entered to our own communities. I don't even know where it is now. I know where exactly. It used to have certain places that you can go to. Now, when I look at it, it's like it's so
Also,
fragmented.
part of that is that people don't go out as much. Before social media, you had to go out to connect with people, to see your friends. And
Mm,
you had to go out, if you wanted to find out what people had done that week, what they were up to, you had to go to the club and talk to them and, oh, what have you been doing? And how's work? How's your da da da? But now everything's just constantly fed to us. I know what my friends had for breakfast this morning. I know what party they're going to tonight. I know what my friends are wearing today. I know they posted pictures of their dinner last night. So because you have this constant feed of information of what your friends are doing, you don't have that need to go to the club tonight to be in. Even the younger kids, they just don't go out as much. When it really became apparent to me, there was this club night called Drag Wars that Keita and Danita used to do, and it was fantastic. And I always used to go.
mm.
And it would finish at about 11:30, and by 12 o'clock, everyone's gone. The club
Yes.
is empty, empty, and the kids have all gone home. They're not a family. They're not over at Eagle. They've
Yeah.
gone home.
Oh, wow.
They've taken their selfies. They're posting their selfies on Instagram, and they've done for the night. They've gone home to scroll online.
Oh,
And it was
wow.
like we never went out until midnight, and then we would stay out until the sun was up. But
Yes.
a lot of the kids, I mean, yeah, it just seems like a lot of them don't go out like we went out. They just don't have the need. And also, of course, Grinder and all those things.
Mm,
You had to, if you wanted to meet someone and hook up with someone, we all have urges, we
mm.
all have needs, and you had to go out to meet people to
That's
hook
right.
up. But now it's like friggin' Uber Eats. I don't have to leave my bedroom and have someone half an hour later knock, if I'm lucky, if it's a good night,
Yeah.
knocking on the door, like,
Yeah.
where it's to go out. And it was always, I think when you had to go out and be in the same room, we were a lot more civil. You had to get along with each other. You
Mm,
couldn't just say ridiculous things online about each other. So it means that we have lost part of our human connections.
yeah.
You had to go into the club, you had to be sociable. I meet young people now. I don't mean to be blaming everything on young people. I don't mean to come across
I
that way.
understand. Yeah. It's not. Yeah.
I'm just saying what I'm saying. Like, they are very good at chatting online and
Mm,
typing and through text, communicating through text, da, 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 da. And then you'll go and meet them, and to have a verbal conversation, it feels like it's challenging for them. It feels like for
mm,
some of them, it's out of their comfort zone. They won't say much. And then you'll have a coffee or it'd be in a meeting or something. They won't say anything. Then you leave the meeting, and then it's like they're chatting, like they're saying 10 times more online. It's like, we were just in the same room half an hour ago and you didn't say any of
yeah.
this, but now you
Yeah.
can
How
say it through
interesting.
text.
Yeah. But
It's a good
there's
one.
not biases because the study has shown that's what happened with younger people.
Mm,
Their
mm.
social interaction skills become less developed because of the social media and through text instead of just a face-to-face interaction. And I
And
felt
it
it.
is what it is. We can't change it.
Yeah.
It just is what it is. It will
Yeah.
never, we'll never not have this technology. We'll never not have social media. So we have to,
Exactly.
in some way, work with it, I guess.
So the question is, where do you think our community is heading to in future?
I don't know.
Yeah,
It's very difficult.
it is, isn't it?
I worry this is going to be the most controversial thing I'm going to say. I worry that every generation wants a cause.
Mm,
Every people in their 20s, 15 to 30, but there's always, it's nuclear free, it's the Springbok tour, it's apartheid,
mm,
it's colonization, environment, whatever it is. Every generation, they want to feel like they are having their say and they're being seen and heard and they're making a change. And we all
mm,
feel that as human beings. But sometimes I worry that young queer people are clinging on to things that they are making a cause. And I'm not saying anything specifically, but sometimes I worry that they're inventing causes so they feel like they're part
mm,
of something and being seen and being heard and making a change. And sometimes I worry that those causes
mm,
that they're fighting for
mm.
I feel like they could be putting their energy more into
Yeah,
other places. Sometimes I look at some of them and I worry, I think they're not conscious of the people that have come before.
I agree.
I see some young people and I think they think they're the first to do it. And it's like, "Honey, there are many people that have come before, paved the way for you.
Mm,
You don't need to act like you're the first person to pave that way."
absolutely.
And it's not that's often not their fault. They don't know their history or their queer whakapapa,
Yeah.
so they just don't know. So I'm not angry.
Nah.
It is
Yeah.
what it is.
Yeah. Well, it's
But
just
generation, they want their moment and they want their cause.
mm,
And I think that's sometimes I wonder if sometimes they're inventing some causes just to
mm.
have just because they want something.
But I think that is very insightful of you because people want to make their suffering out of some sort of meaning. And then
Yeah.
it is very common that then they need to find it themselves. And so it makes sense.
The problem comes when you push too far on some
Yeah.
things that people that may have been our allies for a long time, when you push them too far to bend to your ways, you can annoy them too much. And
Yeah.
suddenly they might not be the great ally anymore.